All right, so I'm excited because today at 1 p.m. I'll be talking with Ashton Kutcher. We'll be talking about kind of the economic times, about business advice. He rolled out a new wine company that has all of its proceeds are going to helping relief from coronavirus. So come tune in 1 p.m. today on my Instagram Live, 1 p.m. Pacific time, so 4 p.m. East Coast time. And come tune in. I'm excited.
My ice cream eating, and
your ice cream eating.
I love ice cream. I do.
That's your Patrick's Pints.
Patrick's Pints. I do. Probably go crush a pint right after this to celebrate.
Okay. Well,
so I don't know what. Hold on. Let's see. I mean, Sydney messaged me, but I can't open it.
and she didn't message me, so maybe that means that.
I don't know. Maybe Sydney, if you're watching, you can message Maria because I don't have.
Well, it could be that Ashton comes in under a different name. Oh, no. Oh, there's somebody from Poland.
Wow.
That's exciting. It's exciting that how many people have joined us from all different parts of the world. I love.
You should text Sydney.
Okay, I'll text Sydney. And Sydney helps us. Sydney's great. And anyway, but that's so everybody. There's a lot. We were just reading that the mayor here said that.
It says Ashton is here.
Okay, well then let him in.
Okay. Well, let's see. He's on my requests. I don't see him. So
well, he has to go. He has to go over to take care of his kids, and he had only a small spot. So
yes, we'll be quick with him. We'll be quick.
Not too quick.
Not too quick.
Maybe he has a special name.
A+K, I believe, is his Instagram.
A+K.
But it doesn't. Oh, there he is. We got him. I found him in the woodworks.
Wow, you found him hiding.
Hiding.
Maybe he was like. Maybe he was. There he is.
That was a technical feat, joining. I've never done a live Instagram before. It's the first time I've ever done this. And it was a technical feat just figuring out how to join.
Really? Where are your firsts?
Well, the request to join button, they've got it hidden from a product sensibility. They've got it hidden down in the messages. So you got to scroll all the way through just to make the request. And then it's faint at that. I got some product notes. I got to call the people at Instagram.
Okay, good. Yeah, I agree with you because I also struggle with this. But anyway, so good to see you, Ashton, and thank you so much for joining us.
Good to see you guys.
Your hair is giving me a run for its money. That's a great deal.
Let me tell you something. I've become a big believer in the headband as a result of this. And now it's just a regular staple in my life. It's like, get this stuff out of my face.
So maybe you'll start selling headbands next to raise money. But why don't we start right in on the quarantine wine, what you're doing with that. You're raising a lot of money. I think it was up to $1 million as of this last week that you've raised just by selling wine. Tell everyone what kind of the idea was behind that.
And where they can get it.
Yeah, we had this group of folks that we've just been kind of chatting with in the evenings. And it's like every night, like somebody would grab a glass of wine or a bottle of wine and everybody just be kind of chatting about what they were drinking. And Mila had this brilliant idea. She's like, we should just make a quarantine wine. I'm like, yeah, but we're under quarantine. So how are we going to pull this off? And we have some friends that have this company called Knocking Point, and they basically do this online subscription wine service and make a bunch of really good wines that we like. And so we called them up and we're like, hey, could we do a quarantine wine? And they were like, yeah, let's do it. And I was like, well, how long do you think it would take? And it was like, I don't know. Like, I can't imagine a lot of people are like, registering for wine labels right now. And that's usually the most arduous process. And so we came up with an idea for a label and sent it in, got it approved, filed for the trademark, and, away we went. We've sold now, I think, like 8,000 cases of wine.
Wow.
And, all the profits are going to a bunch of charities that we vetted from, Frontline Defenders Fund, that's powered by Flexport, to Feeding America, to the World Kitchen Group, to Direct Relief. We went through and just vetted a whole bunch, and we actually reached out to that group that inspired us in the first place, that the chat that we have every night, and said, what are the best charities that you guys have seen? And then vetted them all and figured out the ones where we could send the profits to and help some folks out.
So Ashton, this is, it seems like a really kind of like far-fetched idea. You're sitting around, you think like, okay, can we come up with a wine? And do you think anybody will buy it? And, people might get daunted by that idea, but are you yourself surprised that it's been so successful and that you actually got it done?
Well, here's the thing, right? Like, it doesn't matter who you are. Everybody's afraid to throw a party. Like, it doesn't matter who you are. Like, everybody's afraid to throw a party, because if you throw a party, there's a chance that no one comes. And then you've got to deal with like that ego blow that, nobody came to your party. And so we were, a little bit, tentative to do it. And so we only ordered like 2,000 cases of wines, because we're like, we'll probably be able to sell like 2,000 cases of wines. And so we started there, and within 8 hours, we sold 2,000 cases of wine. And we're like, oh man, we've got to get more juice. And then it became a process. And we spent like a week, like tracking down more of the same wine so we could continue selling and continue raising money. But I guess like as an actor, you go in and, you get told no for more jobs than you get told yes, by far. Right. And so, I'm pretty used to rejection. Mila's pretty used to rejection on that front.
Me too.
And as an entrepreneur, I've probably started more companies that have failed than I have companies that have succeeded. And, everybody hears about the success because, it's more fun to talk about the successes, but we all fall down and we all fail and we all throw parties that nobody comes to. And
right.
It hurts, but get over it. So what? If we fail doing something that we believe in, at least we still have the belief that we were doing the right thing. And that's all that really matters.
So Ashton, I know you told me that you thought you'd be all sold out of this wine by the end of the week, but where can people help you sell it out? And then if you do sell it out, will you keep going? Will you find more wine?
Okay. Well, I think that we have a little bit left, but no, we cannot find more wine. We would have to go and start the process all over again. We've found every single bottle of this stuff that exists at this point. And if we had to get more wine, we'd have to refile for a new label and do a whole thing. And so it's a giant rigmarole, but we have a little bit left. I think there's a couple hundred cases left or something. So people go to officialquarantinewine.com. They can find the wine.
Officialquarantinewine.com.
We'll pin that up. Officialquarantinewine.com, and all the profits go to these 4 organizations that they've picked. I actually know them. They're great organizations. And so you can go and get the last batch, because he said he's going to be totally sold out by Saturday.
These will be collector items.
We're like Supreme. We're like the Supreme of wine. It's gone. Go get in line, get your brick, and then get out of Dodge.
That's super cool. So talk more about, you were talking about kind of rejection, failure, the idea of from the acting side, but also from the entrepreneurial side. I think so many people that follow you and listen to you these days know you from your business side, your business ventures, the fund you have. What kind of advice do you have for young entrepreneurs that are out there right now that are thinking about starting a company, that maybe want to start a company, that have already spent the last 3-5 years doing all the research, doing everything, and now they're entering this kind of economy?
Yeah. Well,
come on.
It's funny. Mila and I were talking last night, and I said to her, I was like, ideas are really fragile, and I think oftentimes we have all these ways to share our ideas through Twitter and Instagram and this one and the next thing and whatever it's going to be. And oftentimes people just, they get an idea. They're like, oh, this is a brilliant idea. And then they share it before they're ready to defend it. And I think one of the most dangerous things that entrepreneurs can do is have an idea and then share it before they're ready to defend it. And getting ready to defend it takes a lot of preparation, right? It's like understanding your market, understanding your competition, understanding the data that supports your thesis, and then talking to experts that are open-minded. There's a lot of experts that you talk to in spaces that you're building into that are are very closed-minded. Like it's kind of their way or the highway, or they have something that they're defending. Therefore, they won't give you the opening that you believe exists in the space. So, connecting with experts that are open-minded, battle test your idea a little bit, and then put it out into the world. And the truth of the matter is I look at what's happening right now as an unbelievable opportunity, right? Like, if you weren't building a company that had virtual bones before this, you're in deep trouble right now. Right. But most of the anti-fragile companies that have built into like virtual sales, they built out virtual models, virtual SaaS tools, they're actually thriving and doing relatively well because, people are still buying stuff. They're just buying it in a different way. And so if you're entering into this market and this isn't a market that you're going to thrive in, that just means that the future isn't a market that you're going to thrive in. And so you need to rethink your idea and rebuild it, because this pandemic, this is one. And I was watching a documentary the other night, and there are like 1.2 million viruses that have been transferred to animals that could be transferred back to human beings. And we never know if the next one is going to be worse than this one. I mean, this one's like the perfect cocktail of it being respiratory, it being slow to kill people, but it does kill people, it being easily transferable. This is the first cocktail, but these viruses are just going to get smarter over time. Right. And with global warming and the change in temperatures that are taking place, we don't know how these viruses are going to react, and it could get worse. So this could, in the future, we might have quarantine time every year where everybody ends up in their homes for 2 to 3 months. And so if you're thinking about building a business, you should think about building an anti-fragile business that can thrive during this type of economy and type of market.
I love that.
Ashton, what advice would you give? There's so many young people graduating college. Patrick has a younger brother graduating. These guys and girls all thought 3 months ago they were entering a boom economy. They're all coming out, and maybe they can't start a company, and they're feeling like they have no clue where to go, what to do. What do you look for in a young person getting out of school right now who doesn't have a job?
So, it's tricky because a lot of companies are throwing down hiring freezes right now. And I gave some advice at the Teen Choice Awards several years ago. And the bottom line is, there's no job that is beneath you. And I think there's a lot of people that have this attitude that they're getting out of college, they have a degree in something, and suddenly, like, they can't have a job that is beneath that degree. That and they look down on certain jobs. Right now, there are a lot of jobs that are available in a lot of industries that are, high potential risk jobs at this point, inside of grocery stores, delivery folks, drivers, like there are a ton of jobs. And the truth of the matter is that they're good jobs that pay. And you might need to have one of those jobs until you can find the job that you want, because it's just not gravy from day one, right? And you're entering into an economy. By the way, we haven't seen the real recession yet. Wait for Q2 earnings to come in, because Q1, January, February was actually pretty good. The economy was still open. Right. So it was just March. Wait for Q2 earnings to come in, where you've got April, May, June, where people have been in quarantine, and the economy is going to show it's really what's happening. We have 20% unemployment. It's going to get worse, and those hiring freezes are going to get even more real. So my advice is, go get a job. Like, there are jobs, and if you're young and you don't have hypertension, you don't have diabetes, and you're not overweight, your chronic risk with this thing, like 90% of the people that are dying as a result of coronavirus have at least one pre-existing condition, 90%. And 75% of those people have two pre-existing chronic conditions.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're young and you're healthy, I would say like go get a job in this market, go get a job in this time to start to build up your coffers so that when it comes time to do the real job hunt and the opportunities are there, you're ready. And you're ready to take it, and you're not having to like, you know, scrounge to figure out a place to live in this new market, because then you can you'll have enough capital, hopefully reserved, that you can live in wherever the job is that you can find.
Right.
And then the second thing is, when it comes to applying for a job in this time, the competition just got a lot steeper.
Right.
There's a ton of people that have extraordinary experience that are unemployed right now. So, and you're fresh and you're coming out and you don't have a ton of experience in the space. You're graduating. So the biggest thing that you can think about when you're applying for a job is time. How can you give your boss or your partners time? Because every boss and every partner in the world is looking for leverage, right? And they're looking to get time back right now and create efficiencies within their networks. And so if your application, if your presentation isn't respectful and thoughtful about their time, they're immediately checking that box off and going, is this person going to, they're asking the question, is this person going to take my time or give me time?
Right.
Like
Is it worth
me
it?
leverage. So really think about time and how from the moment you do your outreach, are you giving them something? Are you giving them time? Are you being generous? Because that's the only way you're going to find the right job in this market.
I love that. And I love the idea of kind of the ego check of a lot of people that are coming out of college and nothing is beneath them. I wanted to just touch quickly on the all-in challenge. I know that you and your partner had done something. Can you tell everybody, because you had mentioned that people should go and try to reach out to people that are really experienced right now. What better way to do that than with your all-in challenge? I'm not sure if it actually just ended or not, but can you speak on that? What the opportunity is?
Yeah. So we do a thing at Sound Ventures where our whole team comes together around. We really reserve this for like our portfolio companies, but we bring in our whole team and we have a company sit down, present whatever challenge they have. You know, the first question is like, what's the biggest single thing that if you could solve would be a game changer for what you're doing and where you're heading? And so we decided at Sound to do a surround sound with anybody who wants to. We did, and I think it was like a sweepstakes style, where in any company, large or small, that wants to tap into our, idea network inside of Sound Ventures can sign up. And once again, all the money goes, I think it's Feeding America for the All-In Challenge. Yeah. And we'll give you the best advice we got and try to connect you up and get you to the next level.
I think that's anybody can join that by paying $10. You can go into the All-In Challenge and then you can get advice. So if you have that idea and you want to defend it and you want to get advice from the best and you want to do good, you can go to the All-In Challenge. You can also go and get your wine. You can drink the wine before you go to the All-In Challenge. It's all connected. And
no, maybe after. Okay,
after,
Let's do the work first, and then we'll have a drink to celebrate it.
Okay, finally, I want to ask you, Ashton, because you have 2 little kids, and we've been hearing from families all across the country, right, how stressful this time has been with 2 little kids, with homeschooling. And when we tried to set this up, you were like, I have to take the kids at that time. Oh, that's my time with the kids. What have you learned about parenting during this time?
Just how much I love it. It is. This in a way, I feel so fortunate that I almost feel guilty about it. We're in a really lucky position where Mila and I both started working at a really young age and have managed to make enough money where we can, where we don't have to be working right now. And we're just so freaking lucky, man. And I feel guilty because there are a lot of people out there that aren't in that position. And I feel like every day I'm just trying to find ways to help those folks out. But as far as parenting goes, teaching teaching's hard, especially with little kids. I mean, we have a 3-year-old and a 5-year-old. And I think the thing that they've probably learned the most is like just how to sit down. It's like, sit down, listen, sit down. Can you sit down? Just sit down. You got to listen, sit down. I mean, I was like, put that down. Don't touch that. No, we're not having a snack right now. Like, so we've like quarantined out like a special room in our house that is like the classroom. And once we go into the classroom, we are the teachers and not the parents, which we kind of had to create an environment for that so that the kids would like kind of lock in and go, oh, okay, now it's not, there's a different set of rules that exist in here than exist, you know, in the rest of the house.
Right.
And so I think that was really helpful. You know, we've outsourced a lot of the schooling. So we have a friend call in once a week for like 30 minutes and kind of teach our kids based on whatever the lesson for the week is going to be. And so they sort of do an interactive like teaching lesson kind of thing. I've also realized that really young kids find certain digital tools very intuitive. And like my kids now know how to run Zoom. They're like, no, I'm changing my background. Like I'm doing this. And I'm like, wait, like they figured out how to change their background faster than I could. And so actually getting them to stop doing that and pay attention to what the teacher on the virtual school is talking about is that is a challenge in and of itself. But yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing is for being with the kids 24/7 now. I think we've been in quarantine we sort of quarantined ourselves like 3 weeks before everybody else did.
Wow. It's been a while.
And so the biggest thing is like having every minute of the day programmed, even the free time. Like free time is programmed to the minute, so that they're going from one activity to the next activity to the next activity to the next activity, because those idle minutes sort of turn into I think like my grandmother always used to say, idle hands are the devil's playground. And so the kids stay active.
That just gives you an idea of how much education is going to have to change as these kids grow up. After they experience this kind of learning, they won't be going into classrooms quite the same way as, for example, you did.
No, for sure. And I think that's what Ashton said in the beginning, that there are a lot of opportunities right now for people that are interested in business, for entrepreneurs. You know, people are still buying things. It's just shifting in the model of how. And so much has been transformed onto, you know, online, whether that's Zoom, and there's tons of other different options out there. But education is changing day by day. And but Ashton, we know we've held you for too long. Your kids are probably.
I don't want to interrupt you, Patrick, but I would also say just on that front, you know, if people are graduating right now and they're looking for jobs, don't limit yourself by your geography, because I think that the virtual offices and virtual work, this experience is actually making them part of the norm.
Right.
And there may be jobs that are available, not even just within our country, but within multiple countries that is virtual work, that is a world workforce. So don't feel like, you know, you're limited based on, you know, what are the jobs within your geography, because especially if you're someone who's getting a degree where you can do your work, you know, virtually,
remote.
You know, our entire team at Thorn, which we have, I think like 70 plus people now on our team.
Wow.
We've been virtual for the last like 5 years, and every single person. I mean, we have people all over the country that work with us, and so just don't limit yourself by your geography. Like think globally, think nationally, based on where you can work, because I think that virtual work is going to become a piece of the norm.
Right.
I love that. So think globally, think virtually, think no job is beneath you, and think about how you can save the person time.
And drink wine after it all.
And drink wine after it all. And drink wine that goes to a good cause. So
Patrick, your big takeaway is drink wine. I love this.
We want to thank you for raising the money, for coming up with this creative idea along with your wife, raising money, Congratulations. We hope we sell a couple bottles for you. And we want to thank you for taking time out from your school schedule to spend time with us to talk about what you're doing and the ideas you have for so many people who might be struggling at this time.
Thank you guys so much, and thank you for doing this, because I think just feeling a part of a community is really important during this period of time, and really important for our head health. And so I appreciate you guys for doing this.
Thank
of course.
You, Ashton.
Thank
God
you so
bless.
much. Good to see you.
Back to kids.
Take care,
Okay.
guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
That's all very good advice.
It was
there.
great. It was
Right?
really great advice.
I'm going to go buy some of the quarantine wine because I think it'll become a collector's item.
Yeah, I think we should. Let's go grab some.
Let's go buy some of that.
I think a lot of people, if you're looking for an immediate business idea, it's to get Ashton a Wi-Fi, good Wi-Fi router.
Yeah, that's right. And I'm fascinated with all of Ashton's experience that he's never done Instagram Live before.
I know.
But I'm so glad that we were his first.
No, I know. Seriously,
he's really made an effort.
He's really awesome. I mean, he has so much, so many accolades in the acting space, the modeling space, the business space, the venture, the advising, nonprofit.
Yes.
So he's someone that I look up to in a lot of different fields. And I think he gave some really great advice for young entrepreneurs, for people that were interested in business, for people that were just graduating right now, to really not think of anything as beneath you, and that there are some jobs out there that are being created. It might not be the ones that you hope for, but with time things will come. I know a lot of people are probably wondering who we are. I'm Patrick Schwarzenegger.
I'm Maria Shriver, his mother.
Yes, my mother. And we've been doing these conversations each and every day, and we try to continue to highlight different people that are utilizing their platforms to help give back, to find ways to help others during this pandemic, and to kind of create optimism, spread optimism, and to give advice. So Ashton was perfectly falling under those categories.
Yeah.
He's raised $1 million this last week on his wine for
those organizations that he listed, and they're all listed on the site where you buy the wine, where the profits are going and the good that those organizations are doing. So I think that's really great. Which
was great. So thank you guys so much for watching. Once again, we're going to keep this video up. You guys can watch it and bear through Ashton's Wi-Fi, and we'll talk to you guys soon.
Okay. Thanks so much for joining us.
See ya.
No.
What?
To go off.
Yeah, I know. I'm going off. Okie dokie. And.